On this Thursday afternoon, the 3rd of October. For WRCO News, I'm Joanne Krulatz. The American Red Cross of Wisconsin is issuing an urgent appeal for volunteers who are willing to travel this fall to support emergency shelters for major national disaster relief efforts. Interested volunteers are urged to sign up today at redcross.org/volunteer. All candidates must complete the necessary training and be able to commit to a 2-week deployment. Applicants who don't have disaster experience but have supervision, management, or organizational skills, a strong desire to help others, and the ability to thrive in a fast-paced, dynamic environment are encouraged to apply. As of Monday, more than 900 Red Cross disasters responders are on the ground across 10 states devastated by Hurricane Helene in the southeast, including hard-hit North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, and Florida. Beyond becoming a Red Cross volunteer, people can help in other ways, too. Following Helene, financial donations are the quickest and fastest way to get help to people who need it. Red Cross Executive Director Rebecca Rockhill.
And even though the Red Cross is chartered by the government for disaster response, we don't receive any government funding for that response. 100% of that comes from donations from individuals. That support is essential.
Blood donations will also help. Hurricane Helene has caused more than 1,500 blood donations to go uncollected in the southeast, yet the need for blood remains constant for patients in need. Blood drives are being held today until 2:30 at Royal High School, until 5 at Don Larson Chevrolet Buick GMC in Baraboo, and from 1 to 6 at American Legion Post 245 in Cross Plains. A blood drive will be held tomorrow from 12:30 to 5:30 at the Arena Fire and EMS station. 2 opportunities to give will be held next week. The first is Monday from 1 to 6 at the American Legion Clubhouse in Plain. The second is Wednesday from 9 to 2 at Wisconsin Heights High School. Appointments are encouraged by calling 1-800-RED-CROSS or go online to redcrossblood.org. Donate to the Red Cross and other organizations by visiting Civic Media's Hurricane Helene help page at civicmedia.us/help. Donations for flood victims in North Carolina and Tennessee following Hurricane Helene are being accepted locally in Richland Center at Driftless Outdoors on Highway 80 North. Basic needs are bottled water and canned food, along with can openers for donating canned food. Organizers are planning to leave with a semi-load of donations tomorrow. Please have your donations dropped off this evening by 5. For more information, call 608-475-1219. 45 crew members from 15 Wisconsin electric cooperatives have left for South Carolina to assist with storm recovery after Hurricane Helene left catastrophic damage. Crews gathered at Rock Energy Cooperative in Janesville before making the trek to Aiken Electric Cooperative in Aiken, South Carolina. While power outages across the southeast in Florida, Tennessee, North Carolina, and South Carolina topped 800,000. That's not the whole story. This storm not only caused damage, but in some areas, complete decimation. Crews heading south are prepared for a deployment that is expected to last 2 weeks. WECA assisted with logistics, including travel waivers to ensure the trucks are not delayed by highway weight restrictions. While crews were ready to head south immediately after Helene hit, the widespread destruction in the south meant local authorities had to get infrastructure in place to be able to house and direct those traveling to the area to assist. A tent city in the Aiken Electric Cooperative area was completed yesterday. Participating Wisconsin electric cooperatives include Adams Columbia Electric Cooperative, Barron Electric Cooperative, Bayfield Electric Cooperative, Chippewa Valley Electric Cooperative, Dairyland Power Cooperative, Dunn Energy Cooperative, Eau Claire Energy Cooperative, Jump River Electric Cooperative, Oakdale Electric Cooperative, Oconto Electric Cooperative, Price Electric Cooperative, Riverland Electric Cooperative, Rock Energy Cooperative, Scenic Rivers Energy Cooperative, and Taylor Electric Cooperative. A crew from Alger Delta Cooperative Electric Association, located in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, also joined the Wisconsin co-ops making the trip. The presidential campaigns continue to focus on Wisconsin. Vice President Kamala Harris is set to campaign at Ripon College today, while former President Donald Trump will return to the state this weekend. Ripon is known as the historic birthplace of the Republican Party. Trump's Sunday stop in Juneau comes just days after his events in the Democratic strongholds of Milwaukee and Dane County. The latest Marquette Law School poll shows Democrat Kamala Harris continues to lead Republican Donald Trump in Wisconsin. Like a poll in early September, it remains a close race, with Harris holding a 4-point lead over Trump among both registered and likely voters. Harris's 4-point margin is within the 4.4 percentage point margin of error. In the Senate race, Democratic incumbent Tammy Baldwin has seen her lead over Republican challenger Eric Hovde grow to 7 points among registered and likely voters. It's time for this week's Richland County History Moment with Richland County Historical Society President Ken Thied.
4-H Corn Contest, October 6th, 1904, in a newspaper article. And now for a Richland County Historical Society History Moment. Here's the rest of the story. According to the booklet, 75 Years of 4-H, organized by Carletta Heidi, this story appears on page 5. One of the most interesting exhibits in the Agricultural Hall was that of the corn grown by Richland County boys. There were 40 entries in this exhibit, and all the corn was of the highest quality. Professor Moore of Madison, who judged the exhibit, said it was the best display he had ever seen in the state and complimented the exhibitors on the fine showing. There were 7 prizes offered, and the first place premium was captured by Ralph Harder of Gotham. The other prizes included G.E. Elton, 2nd of Sextonville, Irvin McDowell, 3rd, from Richland Center, John Turgeson, 4th of Richland Town, Artie Mathis, 5th from Eagletown, Willie Collins, 6th from Richland Town, and Silas Locke, 7th of Neptune. Many people paid the corn exhibit a visit, and they all expressed favorable comments on the fine appearance of the entries. In the following article from the Richland Rustic, dated June 9th, 1916, the headline reads, "State Fair plans are mapped out." Here's the story. One of the big departments of this year's fair will be the Boys and Girls Agricultural Contest, which was inaugurated last year. It is expected that more than 1,000 boys and girls will compete. The cash premiums in amounts of more than $1,500 and the special premiums exceed $6,000. As a postscript comment, those are notably good cash values for well over 100 years ago. Listen next week for a history of Richland County covering personal poems by Marion Napier Paust.
The Richland County Historical Society appreciates your support. It's been a great year with many new family, individual, and business members. Would you consider joining? For just $10 a year, individuals or families can be a member. Yearly memberships for businesses, just $20. A lifetime membership is available for just $100. Membership payments and donations can be sent to the Richland County Historical Society, 213 South Central Avenue, Apartment 1, Richland Center, Wisconsin, 53581. The Society hopes you're enjoying these weekly history moments.
It's homecoming week in the Richland School District. Many events were held this week, with more being held tomorrow. Homecoming is not only an exciting time for the students, but for others as well. Carrie Stoltz is Director of Marketing and Communications for the district.
With homecoming, there's the alumni and, the community will get involved, and it's just a great time. Super great. And I'm so excited to be a part of it for not the first time, but a more integral part for the first time.
Each year, homecoming has a theme, and this year's theme is Hornets in Hollywood. Many students will be displaying their acting skills in skit competitions, which is an annual event. Ava Cosgrove is a member of the Student Council as well as this year's homecoming queen.
I don't think I'm a part of it, but we have a bunch of our class a part of the skit. Can't say what it is, so the underclassmen don't find out, but it'll be good. And then we also have a talent that we are actually in charge of, Lily and I are, so it's going to be a sob fest for the teachers.
One of the big events during homecoming is the parade tomorrow afternoon. Lily Parker is also a member of the Student Council.
We have a really good lineup. We were struggling with getting everyone's forms in, but we have plenty. The parade's going to be great.
A parade would not be complete without a grand marshal. The worthy honor goes to a familiar face and voice from the area. Ron Fruit is honored and humbled to be this year's grand marshal.
I know that there are literally hundreds of grand marshals that could serve as the Richland Center Homecoming Parade grand marshal, and many of them arguably much more qualified and deserving than myself. But it really felt good.
Being named grand marshal for this year's parade makes it even more of an honor.
And it's a special year because this is the 50th year since the class of 1974 left Richland Center High School. So that makes it, many of my classmates, will come back. They're going to march in the parade. And so it just makes it a special time, and it's really fun.
The Richland Center Homecoming Parade will take place Friday in downtown Richland Center. Lineup for the parade will begin at 2, with the parade stepping off at 2:55. Also during homecoming, Irv Peckham and Rob Renish are being honored as outstanding alumni. To cap off the week, Richland Center will be taking on River Valley in high school football. Kickoff will be at 7 at Vitus Rip Field. Everyone is welcome to take part in all the homecoming festivities tomorrow in Richland Center. There's something for everyone in the WRCO listening area this weekend. An array of activities will be held beginning Friday and running through Sunday. From the Richland Center Homecoming Parade to tractor rides and benefits and the Canyon of Lights Parade. Center Color Fest weekend will kick off with the Hill Country Classic Powers annual Wheels of Time Truck and Tractor Show at the Richland County Fairgrounds. It came from humble beginnings. Here's Mark Welty.
Back to 1981-82. Danny and I were sitting under a hickory nut tree in front of the old log house and drinking a beer, eating a burger. Said, we got these old trucks sitting here. We ought to have a truck show right out here in the front yard. And it took off from there. The rest of it's history. But we had fun getting it started, and it just developed into kind of a brotherhood. And now we've got people from 5 or 6 states come to this thing for the weekend.
View classic restored tractors, trucks, cars, and other vehicles all weekend. Paul Posh says there is plenty to see.
The recent years, we've been running around 120 to 130 trucks and about the same number of tractors and pieces of farm machinery that come in. So right now, we kind of hit where we just stay about the same number all the time. It seems like every year we'll see somebody new will show up there, either with a truck or a tractor or a piece of equipment, or, you never know what they might drag in there they'd like to exhibit, and we'll accept anything. This year, we're featuring Minneapolis Moline and Massey Harris, Massey Ferguson. The reason we feature the two together is because in this area, for some reason, we don't get that many. So we thought we'd have kind of put them together. And that way, maybe we'll get a few more feature tractors.
A parade will be held Saturday at 4.
We encourage anybody that has something there they'd like to run through the parade to join us. We have a sound system that they set up for doing announcing of what's coming through the parade.
The show will run Friday through Sunday until 4. Admission is free. You are encouraged to support the show through your purchase of pie, and the 4-H will be serving food and refreshments. The Greater Richland Area Chamber and local downtown businesses will host its annual wine and beer walk. It will be followed by a dance party at the Phoenix Center Friday night from 8:30 to 11:30. The UW-Richland alumni will be honoring 5 distinguished alumni at their annual brunch at the Phoenix Center Saturday. The distinguished alumni are Janet Goplin-Kinney, Thomas Simonson, Mary Sue Bethke, Edward Pulvermacher, and Jonathan Yancey. Oakwood Fruit Farm will host its Customer Appreciation Days at the Orchard Saturday and Sunday. There are many sales specials, sampling of retail store offerings, author book signings, and more. Richland County EMS will host a fall festival Saturday from noon to 4 at Crosscup Park. Enjoy caramel apples, a corn boil, smoked meats, and children's activities. The Friendship Quilters Quilt Show will be held at the Schmidt-Woodland Hills Senior Living Facility. Lorna Maxwell is a longtime member of the Friendship Quilters.
We have a very talented group of quilters in our area. We really do. Many of them teach classes, in our area, make quilts for companies that have the fabric. They send them the fabric and they make quilts for them to display, to sell their fabrics. We have a lot of talented quilters in Quilt Guild. All of them are talented.
A variety of quilted items will be on display.
There's usually If we have room, each person can provide 2 quilts or wall hangings or table runners or whatever that we will display.
Friendship Quilters member Carol Moon says the show will also feature a bed turning.
And there you might see an antique quilt or an old quilt that was made by either your mother or your grandmother that one of the members are going to donate. The bed turnings mean that the quilt will have a story, and they'll have written that. And it'll be shown in the chapel. And there's 2 times on Saturday, 11 and 2, and then 1 time on Sunday at 2 p.m. And there you might see an antique quilt. They're just layered on this bed, and then 2 people are going to hold it up, and then they'll tell the story about why this particular member has decided to have it on display. And it could be your president's quilt because it's an old-fashioned type quilt, or it could be one that you've just finished, but it has a special meaning to you.
The quilt show will be held from 10 to 4 both Saturday and Sunday. Also this weekend, Vitesnik Power Sports will celebrate its 50th anniversary with a Customer Appreciation Day Saturday from 10 to 1. You are invited to hang out and enjoy music, food, trucks, bouncy castles, and a classic motorcycle display. Join the community of Richland Center for a celebration of sights and sounds at the Canyon of Lights Nighttime Parade Saturday night at 7. Bands, civic clubs, and businesses, as well as other unique nighttime lighted floats, are all part of the Canyon of Lights Parade. This year's theme is Superhero Showdown. American Legion Post 13 in Richland Center will be serving a Free Will biscuits and gravy and scrambled eggs breakfast Sunday. Serving will be from 7 until gone. And tours of the AD German warehouse will be held Sunday. Tours begin on the hour promptly at 11, noon, 1, and 2. Tickets are priced at $20 per person. The Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade and Consumer Protection will hold a Global Dairy Summit Friday from 9 to 11:30 at the World Dairy Expo in Madison, featuring national leaders in the dairy industry. The purpose of the Global Dairy Summit is to provide insight into the dairy economy, consider the industry outlook, and highlight potential marketing opportunities. DATCAP invites farmers, processors, businesses, and global industry stakeholders to attend. The Global Dairy Summit will be held in the Tan Bark on the Expo grounds at Alliant Energy Center. It's free to attend with paid admission to World Dairy Expo, but pre-registration is encouraged. For more information and to register, visit datcp.wi.gov/pages/ag development/globaldairysummit.aspx. Over 130 products were initially nominated for the Coolest Thing Made in Wisconsin competition, which looks to highlight the state's diverse manufacturing industry. The 8 finalists include the Dauntless Maple Syrup Evaporator, the Works Burger Blend Seasoning, custom-built metal benches from Production Grinding and Machining, the X739 Signature Series Lawn Tractor, Revo Magnet Trigger Alarm, Jolly Good Soda, Minocqua Popcorn and Puffs, and military medals and insignia. The winners will compete in matchups to determine the top 4, and those 4 products will compete in one final popular vote round to determine the ultimate winner.